Hello, hello, hello. My hair may be a little messy, but I do not care. Let's get right into the point. I officially made it 1 year without a vacation. And I do not say this with like a badge of honor or anything. It's like, oh my gosh. Isn't that crazy? 1 full year. Because last time this year, I was in St. Louis, traveling to have the experience of my first baseball game. And then this time this year, I'm not doing any of that. And I think you're probably asking what happened, what took place, and we're just gonna dive right into it, right? So last year when I went on vacation, it felt good. I took at the job at the time I had, I was able to take the month of June off, and it was nice to be able to experience that first baseball game in St. Louis. But I had bigger aspirations, and then I also wanted to save money, right? Because I don't know if you feel this way, but I definitely do feel this way. Of every year, I will save up thousands of dollars, and then I will take that money, or just take half of that, and then go on vacation. And then it was like, what's the point of doing so, right? But then also, if I were to travel outside of the country, most of these flights are just the expenses. It looks, and I'm looking anywhere between $2,000 to $3,000, right? Even for something as simple as just traveling to Canada, right? I'm looking at it. The last time that I looked at it, this was probably a minute ago, or the time that I decided not to take vacation. It was going to cost me 1,500 just to get there, as far as traveling, hotel, and rental car. I think those are like the holy trinity of the things that I need every time I travel. I need my plane ticket, I need my hotel, and then I need a rental car, right? Sometimes I'm able to save some money and I don't necessarily have to get a rental car, but I do still have to drive, but I still have like wait, if I don't have a rental car, what things do I have to worry about? I have to worry about where I'm staying, where I'm resting my head, um, and then transportation is just like me taking my car. So it does alleviate some of those expenses, right? But with traveling out of the country, it definitely takes a little bit more money to do so. Again, it's like thousands of dollars. Some people say it doesn't take all that, right? If you know how it doesn't take all that, please let me know. Please, please. I'm not claiming to know every fucking thing. Please put me on. Please put me on. Comment down below, and whatever you say, I'll check it out. But seeing how much it costs to actually leave this country and actually to be able to enjoy it and spend and stuff like that, I decided to not go on vacation for a year, and it has been rough. I think the thing that helped me a little bit, as crazy as it sounds, was the instability that I had with work after I came back from vacation, because the job that I had at the time had experienced layoffs, right? And even though I didn't get laid off at that time, it made me feel very uneasy. And then I ended up getting this new job, and with the new job, I had to make sure that I understood what I was doing and understood my role before I even take any vacation, right? So now it's like, okay, didn't take any vacation because like my job had layoffs, so I had to find a new job. Instability, that made sense. Then I had the new job. I understood the ropes. I got off probation at the job, and then it was still the reason of like, why aren't you taking vacation? I just didn't feel comfortable enough taking my savings and dedicating that towards a trip. But now I found something that works for me, right? So I am leveraging a 3-check month. What some people don't know what a 3-check month is, right? Some people, there's two things that I think most working people, I didn't say all, most working people, they rely on to make big purchases, right? One is income tax, right? Income tax season. Some people, they get like a certain amount of money from the government because of their income or because they have kids and different things. Me personally, I've never got, as of recent years, I've never gotten any money back. I always owe these niggas money. Like the year before last, I got $3 back. Last year, or this year, or whatever you call it, right? I had to pay $800 because I did sell some stocks when I had my investments and I had to use that to stay afloat a little bit. And so I was screwed. So you have income tax. Some people get actual money back. They don't owe the government anything. The government owes them money type shit, right? Okay, that's tax. The other side of that is the third check month. So usually the way usually a adult or me, how people split their bills is like you have rent, you have utilities, right? So either one you can do, depending on how much the rent is, you can split the rent up between both checks and then the utilities, right? Or you could do one check for utilities and one check for rent. Me personally, I do one check for utilities and one check for rent. But when there's 3 checks months, okay, utilities, rent, that third check is unaccounted for. And that's a way to get ahead because like you're able to make these big purchases that you don't necessarily have to dedicate that towards a bill because it's not like I have bills that are bi-weekly. Only thing that's bi-weekly is my gym membership, right? So that made me feel comfortable enough to not only start planning for it, but actually to make that purchase without touching my savings. Because my savings still is going to be there, but this third check essentially it feels like free money because I can actually just spend it without the consequences of having to dip into my savings, right? And so I'm leveraging that in addition to the money that I already saved. So I don't have to take thousands of dollars out of my savings. I could just leverage a third check to take care of some of the expenses, right? But then also planning these trips out far. Oh, also another thing that I learned is to plan trips out far enough that I'm able to put something on it, right? Again, I'm not saving for a trip. I'm leveraging the third check, but then also having the trip so far out that I'm able to get things along the way. So every time I get paid, I can pay for this attraction, or I can do this, or I can do that, right? I know it seems like Mickey Mouse. Let me give you an example. So one trip I have in mind is to go to Boston, Massachusetts, but also check out Salem, right? So the trip is in February, right? So the hotel I still need to get, but the plane ticket and the car taken care of, right? So between now, we're in July, as of this video, July 2025, between July and 2020 and then February of 2026, that's a big gap, right? So it allows me the flexibility to not only theoretically save for it, or just to make many purchases along the way over the course of the month, buy attraction, buy tickets here and there, take care of parking, put something on this or on that. So by the time February comes along, I don't have to worry about anything. The trip isn't so close that I have to worry about it, right? It's just being taken care of, right? And I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing that for the Massachusetts trip, but I also want to do it again for the other places that I plan to travel this year. So first in February will be Massachusetts. Then in July, I'm hoping to travel to Texas. I've been missing DreamCon. I want to go to DreamCon. Next year will be my year. I don't know when the tickets go on sale. Tell my friend, let me know when the tickets go on sale. I'm going. And then either that same month or in September, I'm going to go to Mexico. Finally gonna take that step, use that passport to my advantage. Why am I picking these certain dates? I am aligning them with video game releases. I know it's crazy as it sounds, because the new Resident Evil releases on February 27th, right? So I figure I travel the week before, and then when I come back, I have a week to just play that game. And then in July, there isn't a game coming out in July, but in September, there is the new Silent Hill. So around that time period, I also will be traveling again, right? So that's currently a year without traveling. These are the things that I learned. But then I'm also looking ahead, and I reached a place in the standpoint where I feel comfortable traveling, right, and doing something. And you may save, you may not save, but regardless of what you do, we work every day, and you want to, at the bare minimum, enjoy your money, right? And I've learned that a lot this year, right? Because at first I was struggling and not be able to do different things. Now I'm struggling and still gotta be able to do things. Like if I'm going to be broke, I'm going to be broke and happy, and I'm going to be broke and doing different things. But I do appreciate taking this year to build up my savings, right? And then now, even though it's built up and I could theoretically use that money, I don't have to use the totality of that. I can use a portion of it and then also leverage the third check, right? So, have you been on vacation? How does that work for you? How do you usually plan? Please let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, you made it this far, please leave a like, comment, please comment. I'm talking to you, you talk to me. And of course, subscribe for more content. We're currently at 79 subscribers. Let's hit that 80. And again, as always, jarritos on me.